Hello once again, this is Ma'am Nea, and this is my mini lecture for Quarter 1, Week 1 of English for academic and professional purposes. So expect that you'll be receiving mini lectures each week after I have sent to you your modules to help you and guide you in answering and understanding the modules that I've sent you for the week. So to begin our mini lecture, let me just send to you or let me just share to you the module that I've sent to you, so you can check if you really have received the correct module for you. Okay, so let me just find that module for you, and here it is, and share it to you. It's quite raining right now. I hope you are still hearing my voice and understanding what I am saying, because it's quite loud right now in my area because of the rain. But I hope you'll still understand what I'm saying. Okay, so please check the cover of your module. If this is your if this is the cover of your module, then you are on the right track with the module that you are answering for the week. So the title is Academic English for Academic and Professional Purposes, Quarter 1, Module 1, Reading Academic Texts. So let us flip the pages if you have the correct module right now. And let us move on to page 1. What I need to know in here, you will understand that there are 3 lessons for the module. Lesson 1 will be discussing essential features of academic text. Lesson 2, structure and content, the specific structure and content of specific academic text. 3, language used in academic texts. So for the module objectives, our objectives are the following: increase knowledge about essential features of academic text, determine the structure of a specific academic text, distinguish language used in academic text. 4, identify a specific idea or the specific ideas contained in various academic texts. And 3, collect information from various academic texts. So moving on, we have what I know. For this part, you'll have to answer the following items. I believe these are 15 items, and you'll be given space on your answer sheet or activity sheet to put your answer in here. Okay. For lesson 1, essential features of academic text, you'll be encountering questions for in what's in. There are 5 questions in that, and you'll find a space in your activity sheet to put in your answer for that particular area. Okay, so for what's new, you'll have to read this part of an online journal and take note of the essential features of the said article. Okay, so moving on. You will also have to answer the following questions to indicate the different features of the article that you've just read. Okay, so following that, in page 7 or on page 7, you'll be reading the definition for academic text. Academic text is a reading material which contains idea or concept written on a formal language intended for specific discipline. It is also organized in a specific way and is presented in a clear and logical manner. Most academic texts are written by learner complying with the course requirement and by scholar addressing the needs of their field of expertise, such as art, business, law, and others. So we'll see here the different types of academic texts and the description for each type of academic text. So for academic text, we have notes, reports, essay, dissertation or thesis, and of course paper. So we'll have the description on the other side of the column. So just please read that part. For page 8, you'll also be seeing or reading the ways of organizing academic texts. So in here, you'll see how an essay is organized, a research report is organized, and These two will be the common things that you will be doing in this particular subject. So you'll have to know how these things are done. So you have to know how to write an essay and how to write a research report. Okay. So after that, you'll also be dealing with several questions below the description or the discussion on organizing the different academic texts. You'll have to answer them, of course. For what's more, you'll have to answer the difference, the suitability of academic text that is needed for your specific strand. So you have here text number 1, text number 2. In page 11, what I have learned, you also have to write the features, types, and ways of organizing the text. It also depends on what's in your answer sheet. Okay, so you have to look at your answer sheet. I'll also be presenting to you later on the content of your answer sheets, which you'll be doing or accomplishing as you read your module. Okay, let's go to what I can do. In here, you also have to cite the advantage and disadvantages of academic texts. We'll have to cite the advantage of book, research or journal article, newspaper, report, and essay, and of course, their disadvantages as well. Okay, so moving on, let's do the assessment. I don't think I have included in your answer sheet task 2, so you will not be worrying about that anymore because I didn't include that in your answer sheet, but you are really free to read it and answer it on your own. Okay, so for assessment, you'll have to answer true or false for the following items 1 to 5, and answer or find the words that is matching to the definitions given in the following statements. Okay, for additional activities for lesson 1, I don't think I have included that in your answer sheet, so I'll just skip that, but you can still read that part and try to answer it on your own. For lesson 2, you have structure and content of specific academic texts. So for what's in, you'll have to answer 1 to 5 questions, and you'll be given allotted space in your answer sheet for that. For what's new, you'll have to read that part and answer the following questions 1 to 4. And for what's it, of course, you'll have to understand the content or the definition of the academic text structures and the different academic texts that you'll be encountering. Those are cause and effect, comparison and contrast, problem and solution, chronological order, and of course, the last one would be description. So in each type, you have different examples to read upon. So please just read them and try to focus on the characteristic of each text so that you'll be able to answer the activities that will be following after this part. Okay, moving on, I'll just skip the pages. It's up to you to read those parts depending on the time that you have and the mood that you are in. Okay, so let's go to what's more. In here, you'll just have to mark or the text pattern that is given. Okay, so you'll just have to mark it. So for what I have learned for lesson 2, you just have to tell me what have you learned in the different text patterns. Okay, I think I've included this in your answer sheet. What you have to do is to just match or combine the causes in column A with the likely effects in column B, and you'll have to link those two phrases together to make a complete sentence, just like in the example number 1. So you have cold winter in 2015 causes, and the likely effect would have to be increased demand for electricity. And then you'll have to combine the two and try to make one sentence out of those two phrases. Okay? So I hope that is clear for you. The first example is given to you. So you will just have to answer only 4 items after that. Okay, so that's only for task 1. I didn't include task 2 and task 3, so you have no problem with that. Okay, so I also did not include this part, but you are still free to answer them and try to analyze the examples on your own. Okay, so let's move on to lesson 3, language use in academic text. In this part, you'll be answering what's in. This is a matching type test, so it would be easy for you to answer it You'll just have to look for the structure and content of the academic text needed. Okay. And then next one, for what's new, you'll just have to understand the following context or content of the paragraphs. For what's it, you'll just have to understand language used in academic text. What are the language used? How academic texts are written? What are the rules followed in writing academic texts? And what are the things that you should avoid in writing academic text, or the rules that you should follow in writing academic text? So those things are written in here on page 27. Just read them carefully and understand them carefully, and things will be easier for you to do on the next part of this module. So that would be for pages 27 to 30. Okay, so that is the content of the do's and don'ts in writing academic texts. Okay, so for what's more, you'll just have to underline the examples of a bad style. You'll be able to answer this by, of course, reading pages 27 to 30, which will give you the vivid explanation of how should an academic text look like. Okay, for what I have learned, I don't think I have included this because you have one part which you will be telling me what you have learned in this particular module. So I didn't include that anymore. Okay, so I guess that would be all for module 1 of EAPP. Of course, at the last part, you'll have to answer the assessment, which is 15 items. 10 items only, okay, and that you have a part of that in your activity sheet, so you have to answer that. Of course, answer keys are here, but it would be helpful for you if you just answer the questions on your own and try to check if you're correct after you've answered everything. Okay, so I guess that would be all for module 1 of your AEPP, reading academic text. Should you have any more questions regarding this module, all you have to do is chat me in our chat box, in our group chat box, so that once I have addressed one query, everyone will know the answer for that certain query, and everyone will, not have to exert any more effort of asking me the same question, because I've already answered that in our GC. Okay, so please, again, may I reiterate, if you have questions, address it or write it, raise it in our GC so I can address it at once. Okay? Para isahan lang yung sa pagsagot ko kasi nasa GC na yung tanong. And by the way, for the security of your outputs for each week, may I remind everyone to please take picture of your answer sheet, or scan your answer sheet and save them. I'll be giving you a link, a Google link, so that you can send all those screenshots or those picture of your answer sheets in one place, so we can recheck it, or we can have an evidence of that you really have sent your output for that certain week. Okay, so ganun na lang gagawin natin to avoid the misplaced outputs which happened last year, I guess. So para maiwasan yun sa inyo, sa time nyo, let us just have one place to send your weekly outputs. Aside from, of course, the actual output that you'll be sending in your envelopes, we'll have to have our evidence, the soft copy of your outputs, para pag nag-raise ako na wala kang ganitong output for this week, you can just simply tell me, ma'am, I did pass my output. Here is my evidence. O, diba? Mas madali siya. And it's safer for everyone. It's easier for everyone to recheck our work. Okay, so I guess that would be all for my mini lecture for this week. See you again soon next week. Thank you so much for indulging me in this video lesson, and I hope I was able to help you out in your first module activity for this week. I'll see you again next week. Goodbye. Thank you so much.